Hello and welcome here. In this video, I'm going to talk about making decisions and how do we actually make conscious decision in our life. For you who are new to my channel, I am Christina and I am a love and joy coach, supporting you to find your way to live your life from your heart, to live your life from what really matters in your heart, for what's important, what you love, and from loving yourself. So making decision. Have you been in this situation of like, I don't really know what to do? And it may be small things in life, but mostly we get in a lot of stress of making decisions when there are big decisions in our life, and maybe also decisions that involve other people. And we know that we influence everything, no matter if they are in our inner circle or not, we do influence each other and we do influence the collective field. So that's very beautiful starting point of taking responsibility for ourselves, knowing that our decisions are going to contribute to the collective, the big collective and the small collective in our lives. And by making a conscious decision, we make sure that we do the best that we can in that situation. It may not be always the best and it may not have the outcome that we wish, but we do the best we can, and that is the most important. So back to this situation, I have no clue what to do. And we are sitting there with rights and wrongs. Do you know that space when it's like, okay, I can do this and this is going to lead in this way, and or I can do this, and it's a lot of thinking and it's a lot of pros and contras. I had a client last week that was talking about this. I'm making pro and contrast lists to make my decision in however to do these things or not. And that is a decision that is totally focused from the mind. Yeah, we look logically at our situation, we assess the outcome and the consequences, and sometimes maybe feel into it, and it's like, yeah, this can work for me, and then we just move with it. And this is one way of doing. There are even worse ways of doing, and I can tell you from my own experience. When I was in my 20s, I had so big trouble in making decisions that I was making small notes with yes and no. And then I was shaking it in my hand, and then I was picking up one, and I was living my life to chance. So whatever I was picking up, I was saying like, yeah, this is how it should be. This is the best decision that I can make right now. And I was going with that. Did my life turn out well? In some situation, yes, not. It's like playing the lottery. But we are the creators of our life. We have the ability to make decisions that are truly connected to ourselves. And one other way of believing that we make conscious decisions, or we want to believe that we make conscious decisions, is when we follow that attraction. Oh, I'm so attracted to this thing and this must be right for me. And then I'm just going 100% in it. One example is when we fell in love. Yeah, it's not long time ago, I made again one of these decisions in my life where I truly follow that love, that full attraction, that longing for oneness. You maybe have met that in your life once, that you feel it's so magnetic and you do not think about anything else and you just make decisions out of it without thinking about or feeling about anything else. And it's nothing wrong. That's a very beautiful entrance into making a decision, but it's kind of missing some elements, I can tell you from my own experience today. So how do we actually make decisions that are really connected to our hearts, to what it's important for us, and by that take fully responsibility for our decisions and also be the creators of our lives and be able to take responsibility for the decision itself, the consequences, and the experience that follows after. My way of looking at it, it's following that attraction, there is something that's calling you. When you come into that point, like of wanting to do something, of wanting to follow something, there is an attraction, there is a spark of light inside of you that calls you to something new, to something that your whole being wants to experience, to explore. And probably it's one of the biggest opportunities of growth that you have in your life, of that in that moment that you're called to, because you're longing for something new. And then you engage with it. And the next layer is to match that love. And I'm not talking only about love in between two people. It may be a job that you are attracted to, a new career or something else. And then you take it and look at it in how it really matches your life values. And yes, this implies that you know your life values, that you know what's important for you in your life. And when you are in front of that new decision, you kind of feel into it. These are the, you know already, these are the important things in my life. Growth is important for me. Does this job, does this partnership, does this living situation matches my value of growth? Am I encountered by people that I can share, that I can reflect myself with, that I can be together in this space of the willingness of growing and evolving? Or I have a value of connection, yeah, of being in connection with myself and with others and sharing and communicating from there. Does this situation, does this living place, by example, that I'm choosing for myself, I'm making the decision, I want to move there or to be there, does this support me in my longing and my value for connection? Or is it too much of a connection, or is it too little, or is it on the level that really fulfills me? And when we go step by step through those values that are truly important for us personally, because my values may be very different from your values, and we see where we have a match and where we do not have a match, then we can make that decision from that point of view. And I've been in a situation not a long time ago where I've been witnessing my partner making a decision, and it was so interesting because I could not really grab it from the beginning. What was the challenge inside of this decision? And one thing that I will invite you to look into when you try to make your decisions connected to your values is to assess however your values have changed. Because we are always evolving. We are on a path of evolution, of transformation, and especially today when there is so much happening in ourselves, in the world, in all our lives, then our values are also changing. My values that I have today are not the same values that I had 20 years ago. And my values 5 years from now may be different from the values I have today. And in this evolution, in this change of values in our lives, we also end up in the situations that we need to make new decisions. And in this decision making, we will have the tendency to base our decisions for a new life with those new values that we are settling for ourselves, but we make the decision based on the old values. And in this moment of decision making, it may be like really difficult and not having the ability to understand ourselves. Wow, why can I not make this decision? What is so difficult? Because when we are in this new life, new values, new way of being, new expression of ourselves, making a decision about here and now and our immediate future. But the decision is based on an old value because it goes automatic somehow in our nerve system, in our brains, in our minds. Then we feel that something, it's not 100%. One part is saying, yes, this is right, because we're used to it. It's natural, we know it. But one part, the part that it's already evolved, it's on the way somewhere else, it's going to hold us back and say, oh, this is not really right. So be aware of the fact that if you are in a transition in your life from being someone, having some roles, living your life in a certain way, and then you have decided to move from there and to liberate yourself from a way of being, maybe levels of conditioning that you carried with you from your childhood, from all your life. And in this situation, you are at this point of making a big decision of your life, and give yourself the space of breath and meditation, contemplation, to create that awareness of what are your new values and how you can make this new decision on these new values so that you can grow into this new life and new you, instead of pulling yourself back into the past. I hope that this video is supporting you in making new decisions, new conscious decisions, more anchored and connected decisions in your life. And that brings you much more joy and more love for yourself and everyone in your life. Wish you a beautiful day.